Thank you.
So, thanks for inviting me to your show today, Greg.
Well, thanks for volunteering to be on it.
No problem. Anything for my brother.
Right on.
Cool. So, what are we going to be talking about today?
Well, I was thinking people might be surprised to learn we're brothers.
Yes, we are. Definitely brothers for, I don't know, about 30 years now, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Because the kind of shit we went through makes you brothers.
Yes, definitely. Definitely, Greg. Wow. Yeah, 30 long years. No complaints, and I have nothing but love for you.
Thank you.
Good, yeah.
All right. I don't really have a plan.
You don't have no plan?
No.
Oh, Jesus, let's see. Well, let's think of something. Well, I know what we won't talk about is that night on Stowe Island in San Francisco. We woke up with 2 fingers of tequila and a bottle of dirt, and we have no idea how we got on the island in the first place.
In a car, right?
Yeah, in my girlfriend's car. Yeah.
All right, let's not talk about
Okay, we
that.
won't talk about that.
All
Yeah,
right.
and we won't talk about. Definitely won't talk about wild parties at my parents' house when they were on vacation. Can't talk about that.
Yeah, let's not talk about
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Well, can't talk about cutting school.
No.
No, can't talk about that.
No,
So,
no.
let's see, what can we talk about then?
All right. Got something this might be kind of risky. But,
Okay.
You know, let's risk it. All right?
Okay. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about anger.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Anger.
Because I've been thinking about anger,
Okay.
you know,
Good.
recently. You have any thoughts come to mind?
Anger. Let's see. I actually took an anger management course about, I don't know, how old is I? 21, so about 15 years ago, as a result of verbally threatening somebody. We won't mention any names.
All right. We'll keep that on Stowe
Yeah, right,
Island.
yeah. Can't talk about that. But I did do an anger management class, and it was quite interesting because actually anger stems from, I guess, insecurities or not knowing what to do with your emotions at the time. So something happens in your brain and you become angry because you're just out of control. You don't know what to do. You don't know how to respond. You don't know how to cope with the situation. And so one of the defense mechanisms that the human body has is anger.
All right, so that's interesting because when you talk about insecurities, what I feel is fear.
Right.
I don't feel anger.
Right.
Like I go to fear. But you would say that an individual, like that's the flight or fight.
Right. Right.
You're
Yeah.
either going to fight or you're
Right.
going to flee.
Right.
And I'm more wired to flee.
That's fine. And that's some people are hardwired to do that. Some people get angry because they're fearful. You know, fear can lead to anger. Like, oh, I'm afraid of you, but I don't want to be afraid of you, and I don't want to show fear, so I'm going to be angry with you, and I want to fight. You know, even though I'm scared.
All right.
You know, so that could be, you know, but flee could be a survival instinct from way back in ancient times when it's like that beast is bigger than me. I'm going to run to survive.
And I think the truth, the way we want to live, the way people want to live, is beyond both of those.
Sure, right.
Right.
You want to be over those primal instincts of fear and anger, and become more human. I say that's my own opinion, and learn how to cope and compromise. You know, as I get older, I've learned that compromise over anger is quicker and easier, and of course, obviously less volatile, and actually more productive.
Now, have you found that the energy, like the source of anger, let's say, because there's a lot of energy contained in that,
Yes.
can be tapped into in a productive manner?
Definitely. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I use, you know, I don't get angry as so much anymore, but when I do feel anxiety, I'll go for a walk. You know, I happen to be in a blessed position to live next to a lake, so I go run around the lake until I'm not mad anymore, you know. And that usually calms down. The other night, you know, I usually, no, really, you know, it's like, okay, run, you know. You just run around the lake and spin in circles for 30 minutes and then I'm better, you know. You know, I mean, the problem isn't really solved, but at least the negative emotion is there. It put myself in a more logical, rational state of mind for me to think about how do I come to a conclusion or solution, you know, to the problem that's making me angry.
All right, so do you find that the situation from which you were angry,
Mhm.
And like you could say, you fucked up, you fucked me over, whatever it is.
Right.
And then you can run around the lake and see that same situation
Mhm.
in a different manner. Like, oh, wait a minute.
Most definitely, yes. Yeah, actually, while running in circles, you actually can look at the situation from a spherical standpoint. Running around in circles gives you like every possible angle of that situation. Like, what if I do this, or I can do this, or why did they do this, or why didn't I do this? And it's like you're just spinning around and spinning around. All of a sudden, you realize how stupid this thing is. And then once you succumb to the ignorance of anger, then rationality pops out, and then like, oh, logic kicks in. It's like, oh, wow, okay, solution. Or, you may not have it right then and there, but at least you're now in the state of mind to be able to try to look for a solution to the problem.
Have you had an instance where there was something where you thought you were absolutely right about it? I am right about this.
Mhm.
And I have a right to be angry.
Mhm.
And then you take a break and you come back, you're like, oh, wait a minute.
Well, no, if I'm absolutely right, I'm not going to back up. So really, yeah.
No, but what if have you had an instance where you realize you're not absolutely right?
No. No.
Yeah, lucky
I'm not gonna argue unless I'm absolutely right. Yes, right. Most definitely. And not arrogant people. It's just that if I'm not gonna open my mouth unless I have all the facts in front of me. If I know that you're wrong, and I'm watching you do something wrong, and I'm gonna go, hey, if you keep jumping up and down, that vase is gonna fall over and break, and you're gonna argue with me, I'm not backing down. You're gonna stop jumping up and down, or you're gonna move the vase, or we're gonna fix it, but I'm not gonna back down. It's when I'm not totally sure of why I'm angry, is when I go run around in circles. And that's when I have to figure out, okay, I opened my mouth too quickly, I didn't have all my ducks in a row, I didn't have all my facts straight, so now I'm gonna go run around for half an hour, get my facts straight, come back to the debate, and we're gonna fix it.
All right, so you'd say that you're not one to just chill out and go, well, let's see if the vase falls. Like, I think it'll fall. I think it's a given.
No, I'm not gonna chill out and watch the vase fall, no.
But what if it doesn't?
It doesn't matter, it's
Like,
precaution.
you're pretty clear.
Yeah, we don't want the vase to break, it's
Right.
not about it falling, it's about destroying something that of value or sentimental or
Right.
monetary. That vase doesn't belong to me, okay?
So you're going to respect
I'm going to
the person
respect
who-
that vase, right? You're going to respect that I'm respecting the vase. And we're going to move the vase, or you're going to stop jumping. One of those two events has to happen.
All right.
Period.
Right.
Yeah.
And what I hear more is like, it's not so much the vase. Like you said, it's not your vase. So
Right.
you're respecting the person whose
Right.
vase it belongs to.
Right.
I'm not going to risk it with someone.
Right. And why should you do that? Break the vase and then be responsible for something. When I'm trying, that's where the anger comes in to most people. Like, hey, I'm really trying to help you out. So why are we fighting? I'm not going to back down. I'll be mad. You can be mad, but you're stopping, or the vase is moving, or you're going, or I'm taking it with me. But we're not going to do this.
All right. So now if you blow that scenario up,
Okay.
and you look at countries, and if we think of a country as an entity,
Okay.
right?
Right.
It seems like there's an element of that stance that's taken. Like, for instance, with Russia, right?
Right.
Right now,
Right.
like, he feels very justified, Putin,
Sure
for what
he
he's
does.
doing, right?
Yeah,
And just
yes.
like, this is right.
Well, he feels right because now there's a different factor in it. Now there's monetary. You owe me money, so you can't go till you pay me, and that's so it's like when you borrow money from the bank and you don't pay them back, they take your stuff.
Unless you own the bank.
Unless you own the bank, right. And so since they don't own Russia, they're kind of stuck,
And that's what you think that invasion's all about?
Sure, yeah. You owe me money. Yeah, he's a capitalist, I mean, anybody who goes from the KGB to a billionaire overnight,
Thug.
he's a thug. Why are you borrowing money from thugs? I don't know. I wouldn't borrow money from Putin and his guys. I'd be like, I'll go figure it out. Maybe I'll go to Sweden or something, and these countries have to realize that. Who do you want to mess with, Do you want to borrow money from China, or do you want to borrow money from Venezuela? They don't have an army. Go borrow money from those guys. They got cash. Pick and choose your medicine. I know they're close, but you try and get it done something. They didn't have to mess with them. If you didn't like their politics, you shouldn't hang out. borders like a fence. I have a neighbor across the street that I don't like. We don't talk. I seen him today, you know. I notice he has a Mercedes that has hubcaps that look like the hubcaps I used to be on my Mercedes, you know. Did I go over there to approach him? No, because he was on his side of the fence. Now, once his Mercedes gets on my side of the fence,
Then he just crashed through your fence.
well, then I may take his hubcaps back, you know, my hubcaps back, you know. But
So you think that this guy really acquired your hubcaps? That's a real
you know,
possibility?
it looked like a real possibility. But until I'm 100% for sure positive, and it's so funny, right an hour before you got here, I heard this car start up. I didn't even know he had a Mercedes. You know, I have an old 1978 diesel Mercedes that we're all used to, you know, growing up with his cars, and they're classic cars. What I didn't know is the hubcaps were $100 a piece still. And I left them on my car sitting there, you know, looking abandoned, but it runs perfectly. I start it up every day. I don't really drive it. And came up there one day and the hubcaps were gone. This was about a year ago. This morning I'm up there walking the dog and I hear a similar sound fire up and I'm like, wow, that sounds like an old diesel Mercedes. And this thing backs up and it's a little darker blue color than mine, but he's got like light blue hubcaps on that look familiarly close to the color of my Mercedes that I have right now. So I thought to myself, I should walk over there and take, and then I was like, no, he's on his side of the fence. Let me think about this, you know. I have an appointment, you know, with my brother Greg, and I don't want to be all riled up with kids here fighting in the street with this, you know, just like, what is Toast doing? What? You want to talk about anger? You know, so I didn't want to run around the lake and get all sweaty before I got here, so I just went, oh, okay, so I blew it off. So, you know, I'll go talk to him later.
So you're saying when his Mercedes out on the street, it's fair game?
Yeah, well, I never knew he had one until just now. I mean, we've lived here 12 years. I know there's a bunch of junk cars back there, and I didn't know, and I haven't really paid that much attention because that's his yard, you know, like I don't go snooping over my neighbor's fences and look at what they have, you know, and yeah, I just heard a familiar sound and I just happened to look over there and I walked across the street and there was this blue Mercedes backing down this little dirt road and making a U-turn and parking behind another tree, moving it from one tree to another, and I'm like, wow. As I'm looking at the hubcaps, I'm like, those look eerily familiar. And I was like, without closer inspection, I can't be 100% sure, but now I will be keeping an eye on him and that car. Because like, we've had words before in the past, and he kind of scooted, once he saw me looking between the trees, he kind of scooted and got into another car and moved it out into the street instead of putting that car in the street. So we'll see what happens, you know. Yeah, you know, I'm not angry about it because it's like, whatever. You know, my point is, you know, if you thought the car was abandoned, you could have knocked on my door and asked me for my hubcaps. And I would have said no, you know, but because the car runs perfectly fine.
Right.
You know, but him just feeling that he could just help himself to my stuff. You know,
well, yeah, that's wrong.
It's wrong, right.
Right. But you got to be, like you say, like, how can you be sure that...
Well, I know, yeah, how can you be sure? Well, first thing, the hubcaps are color-coded, and his Mercedes is a little darker than mine. So if the hubcaps are a little lighter than his car, then they're not his hubcaps.
Now, there's still room for doubt there.
There's always a little room for doubt, but you know what? If they're dolphin blue hubcaps on a dark blue Mercedes, I'm taking the hubcaps back.
It's going to be coming knocking on your door. Excuse me.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if he knocks on the door, I'll be like, hey, well, you did. Thank you for now knocking on my door and asking me for my hubcaps, which you can't have.
He's going to say he got them from
I don't care.
Phil's wrecking yard.
You know, and here's $200.
Go get him again.
Go get him again. Tell Phil I said thanks.
I don't know. That seems like a recipe for disaster there.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do? That's why I'm going to think about it before it actually happens. Right now, it's in discussion mode, you know.
Right.
And thanks for airing this out over the internet.
Yeah,
I hope you're watching, neighbor, because I'm coming from my hubcaps.
I'm coming from the car.
So, you know, I don't want to be a thug like Putin or anybody, but, you know, those are mine.
So I'm imagining something went down in the past that gives you like a pretty clear character perspective of this guy. Like,
oh yes, oh definitely.
Like there's some history.
Oh
there.
yeah, there's history. Yeah, you know.
Like you said, you guys aren't talking. You
No,
don't
we're
like
not
the
talking.
guy.
He has called the police on my cousin, who's a harmless person, for sitting in his car, talking on the phone, And it was kind of late at night, like at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. And instead of coming and going, hey, you're talking kind of loud, we're trying to sleep over here, whatever, which I don't know, our houses are over 100 yards apart. But instead of respecting I call the neighbor code, everybody else in the neighborhood, we have exchanged numbers, and if there's a problem, we knock on each other's door before we involve outside personnel, especially the sheriff's department. You know, with my history and past, you know, the sheriffs don't really like me and I don't like them, even though I am not a convicted felon, nor am I will be.
He was a good felon.
Yeah, arrested but never convicted, okay? Yes, I've gotten off on every charge, you know, so just to make that square. Yeah, we do have runs with the police, but the judges will always say, okay, Mr. Jackson, don't do that again. You know, but the cops don't like that, you know. They want to be judge, jury, and everybody, and they can't. So me and the local sheriffs have a little thing. Every time I get out of trouble, they come by and I'm like, whoa, Mr. Jackson, what happened? You got out quick that time. We say, hey, well, whatever, you know. I pull some strings, I get a court date the next day, I plead my case, the judge says, go away, and I go away. And it's it. So, you have no case, leave me alone. So he involved the police, and I didn't appreciate that. And so I was out there talking with the sheriffs, and then he come up with, my cousin threatened him, and I was like, my cousin's a country boy from Little Rock, Arkansas, you know, he's doesn't even, you know, yeah, he's not me. You know, I told the cops, if it was me out there and he came knocking on my window, telling me to be quiet, but I told him that, shut the fuck up and get out of my yard, you know, go back in your house. Well, my cousin was like, oh my God, he's all panicking. The cops show up, but he doesn't know what to do. His ID's in the house, so he calls me, so I bring the wallet out, so now I'm involved. You know, the cops are asking me what I'm doing here, and I'm like, I'm bringing his ID out. He lives with me. What are you doing here? Oh, we were called here. And I was like, I didn't call you. So now me and the sheriffs are going around and around, and all of a sudden out of the darkness, this kid comes creeping out. Well, he threatened me. The cops look at me like, I don't even talk to this guy. Don't even look my way. And him, no fucking way. Well, it was the other guy with the glasses that threatened me. I was like, you're a fucking liar. So now we're midnight in the street.
Yeah. Some words.
Yeah, with some words. And the cops are like, everybody go back to your respective yards, you know.
So that anger management, they really worked.
No.
That's tax money well spent.
The park's closed after dark, so I couldn't run around the lake.
And if they see you running around the neighborhood, they call the cops on you.
Exactly. Midnight, I was kind of stuck.
Damn.
Yeah, first of all, I didn't like being called at midnight, you know,
Right.
to come out of the house, you know,
Right.
but I couldn't leave my cousin out there with no ID. They would have picked him up and arrested him, so I had to do what I had to do. And then I didn't appreciate the kid coming across the street and telling the police that I threatened somebody. So, you know, I don't threaten anybody. If I'm going to hit you, I'm going to hit you. You know,
I'm not even going to warn you.
For you know, I'm just, you know, if you're going to fight. There's no rules. You know? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you angry now? No, I'm not going to get angry. I'm just going to hit you. Right? I'm not going to threaten you. You know. So, as soon as he said I threatened him, or my cousin threatened him, I was like, I called bullshit. And then, you know, of course, cops are like, who they called and you didn't. And I said, well, we don't involve the police. I don't need you to resolve this problem. Like, I have everybody's number in the neighborhood except for his. And so I really, you know, and that's his choice and my choice, and not to be, you know, neighborly. And so I'm cool with that. I stay off his side of the street. And obviously, he doesn't want to stay off my side of the street. So
I'd say like that one phone call is going to cost him his hubcaps.
Yeah. Well, this was after the hubcap thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, the hubcaps had been missing. Yeah.
But did you think he was a suspect?
No, I didn't. No, it was until just about an hour ago, actually.
Right.
Yeah. As I was walking the dog, getting prepared for this interview, I saw a Mercedes in his yard. And now you want to talk about anger, and I'm like, and I had no idea you were going to discuss
I didn't
this.
either. No.
Exactly, right? So now I'm looking at this car, like, I'm going, and even right now I'm thinking, as soon as Greg leaves,
I'm gonna go pop that.
no, I'm not gonna hit him. I'm gonna walk over there and knock on his door, and hey,
maybe we should videotape.
You want to? We can walk over there and look at the car right now. I may be wrong.
Knock on the door and
Sure.
say, "Hey, where'd you get those hubcaps?"
No problem.
Want to do that?
Because if they're dark blue hubcaps and I'm wrong, I'll walk away.
All right.
You want to do that?
Sure. Let's
go.
do that. All right.
Hey, here we go.
Now, this isn't staged, people. This is real life.
Trust me. No idea.
All right, so I'm gonna just be the silent cameraman here
No
now.
problem. Yeah. So here's the suspect Mercedes with still missing hubcaps. 1978, 300 diesel. You see no hubcaps. And the collar is color coded to the hubcaps. The one I saw earlier today was a little darker. So if the hubcaps are dark, then I'm totally wrong and they're not my hubcaps and I apologize. If they are the dolphin blue hubcaps, I'm gonna knock on the door and ask him where he got the hubcaps from because here's the car. Proof, and there's his house behind those trees. So let's walk across the street and see.
Check it out.
Yeah, check it out.
See how this goes.
You know, I just discovered. So he was here earlier. He's not here. His car was here. There's the Mercedes there. See it? See how this is a darker blue?
Yep.
Yeah. Discovered that. I had not seen that car here before. We've all lived here for many years. So at this point we're trespassing. Because I don't know these people.
So right now he could shoot us, right?
Sure, he could. Oh, look, he got a couple here.
So maybe he collects Mercedes.
Exactly.
And they look silver.
Hello, hello. How you guys doing? You're right. I live across the street.
No!
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Curious. I had my hubcap stolen a while back. I know she have a couple Mercedes. Do you?
I don't think those came with hubcaps. But
Okay.
you know what? Let me get my son.
That's
They
cool.
just bought this as a parts car.
Yeah, I didn't even know you guys had Mercedes back here, and I was wondering if you had some light blue ones or.
That's what they got.
Okay, no.
Are those yours?
No, those aren't mine.
I didn't. I knew that.
I
Yeah.
didn't even know you guys had Mercedes Benz back here. I just saw it like about an hour ago.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's been in the front.
I have not seen it.
Yeah.
Well, those definitely aren't my hubcaps.
No. Ain't that a bitch though?
Yes.
But I'm thinking if he can,
If you can find
Tell you-
some for me.
yeah,
Cool.
he has some connections.
There you go.
They might even be here.
No, he was in a black car earlier. I seen him.
Are you guys here? No, they took off. They took off in the Toyota.
Well, tell you what, when he comes home, I'm right there in the corner, as you know.
Yeah.
If he has any connections, I would love to.
You know what? I'm going to tell you. I know my son, and he's not going to go over there. So
Okay.
if you know he's here, come over here and ask him.
No problem.
Because they've been looking for parts for this.
Okay.
And he, you know, he might know some people. I got a Jaguar under that cover there.
Nice.
We just found a graveyard for Jaguars in Scotts Valley.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about that.
Okay, we'll let you get back to your day. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Bye bye. There you go, folks, and that's how you solve problems. You walk across the street, and like you said, he's not coming to my house. Yes, I have no problem walking into his yard. Camera, no camera. So problem averted. So now we can relax.
Enjoy the rest of the day.
Enjoy the rest of the day.
So they were a darker blue.
No, yeah, one was just silver and the front ones were darker blue. They were not my hubcaps. But that's actually a good thing because, you know what, I really don't want my neighbors stealing from me. I don't want issues. And as you can tell, the neighbors know me. So, yeah, I'm a fixture.
Now they might sue me because I didn't get permission to put them on the camera.
No, we're good. Don't get it.
All the 30 people who will watch us.
Alright. So, as you see people on stage, and
Yeah, we're good.
that's how I solve problems. You know, I go in there head first, calm and rational. Like if you weren't here, I would have run around the lake a couple times to get to the stage, and then walked over there. Because people can receive your energy. She knew it was non-threatening, so she was like, "Oh hi," you know. I mean, "Hey, I'm missing some hubcaps." You know, you heard the guy, you saw it, you know. And so, "Oh no, you could. Are these yours?" And if they were, she would have given them to me. Trust me.
And like you said, her son's not coming over here.
Right.
Yeah, he's totally afraid of me. He thinks I'm gonna kill him or beat him to a pulp, and it's like, I won't because I can. You know, he's a little scrawny kid. You know, I know he doesn't have any skills or anything. He just sits back there with his girlfriend. You know, and but if they were my hubcaps, he would have lost them a second ago. But you know, they're not. On to the next thing. Problem averted, and it's a beautiful day.
Now, do you think it's possible that you guys can find a place to be neighborly, like a friendship?
You know what? I can't. Have you seen his mother? She's nice. His friends, her boyfriend. Everybody. It's just that one little thing, and because of him, his girlfriend. So out of this whole entire Don Castro, Kelly Hill neighborhood, and the surrounding neighborhoods, if I don't have a neighborly relationship with that one person or those two people, I'm pretty cool. That's what 99.9% that are being humane and compassionate and neighborly and loving and caring, and then I can live with that. You know, the world isn't perfect, so I'm not gonna lose any sleep because he is too afraid or immature or doesn't want to man up and knock on my door and say, hey, you know, let's hang out, run around the lake.
Get some of the sound.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll,
you know, like I said, I have no problem approaching, at my age now, it's just, you can sit here and stew on it in the bedroom, or, you know, I can sit here and go, God, that motherfucking neighbor, I know he stole my fucking hubcaps. But that's not how it went. We discussed it, we talked about it, we did a verbal run around the lake, we walked over there, we figured out that they weren't my hubcaps, and the problem is solved. So I can, when he comes home, I'll be...
We're good. That's it.
Yeah, we're good.
One for each.
You know, I'll walk across over there and ask him if we can find some hubcaps. You know, he'll be shaking, I mean, but I will definitely approach him because his mom gave me permission to do that. And
what if he flips out and goes, yeah, you can take these?
No, I want the ones. I don't want those. I don't want to be Putin. You know, I don't want to be. I'm not the thug.
I want these and the color.
No, I just want these. I want the ones that match my dolphin. That's a rare color. Yeah. That dolphin blue. So that's what I'm saying. If whoever has those hubcaps is kind of stuck because there's not too many dolphin blue.
Is that the original color?
That's the original color. Wow. Yeah, it was my father-in-law's, and it was dead. And so I keep it alive because he's getting old. He's like 86. So I'm trying to keep it around until he passes. Just because it's a kind of sentimental piece. You know, even all the neighbors are like, what are you going to do with that old car? And I'm like, it runs. At least mine runs. His looked in pretty bad shape. But
yeah, they were up on jacks.
Yeah.
And jacked up.
Mine starts up and runs down. I can take it to the gym at least twice a week, you know. Yeah, it runs. You know, not fast. It smokes a little bit, but fires up every time. Old Faithful. So it's good. It's a good car. That's why I want to make sure she's all fully clothed, as they say in the street. Her shoes are missing.
Yeah.
She's running around barefoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of depressing.
Yes.
Yeah. So
doesn't become a Mercedes.
Yeah, yeah. But, well, you know, appreciation of Mercedes.
Yeah.
You know, your first car was a Mercedes diesel.
Yeah.
190.
No, it was a 61.
I mean, 190 model.
Oh yeah.
The 190D.
Yeah. It was a 190D.
Yeah.
Yep.
I remember that car with
the
three
glow
in
plug.
the tree.
Three in the tree.
Classic car.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember those days well.
Did a 180 with it on that big curve going up to the Highlands. You know, as you pass
yeah.
About 6 people in it.
Yep.
Good times.
Yeah, we don't talk about that though.
Oh, talk about the time you saw the turn and you decided not to turn and drove off into a tree.
Oh yeah, the Pinto dive. Yeah, all the way down to the creek.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't talk about that either.
There's a lot of things we probably won't talk about.
No, you know, anger's good.
Yeah.
Things when I was 16 under the influence, nah, because my kids are probably going to watch this. Even though they've heard the stories, I don't think they want to be embarrassed by the stories.
They don't want to record it for posterity.
Telling me, Dad, personally is one thing. Telling my friends in the world, come on, keep that to yourself, bro. Actually, I got a really good message from him yesterday, from my son. And it was like, happy birthday, Dad. Actually, yesterday was my birthday. I'm 52. Thank you. And I made it. Which, if you knew the things that we were talking about, you would be impressed. And it read that even though you're getting old, you're young at heart, and stay young, stay strong, and stay happy. Love your son, Jordan.
I know.
And that was one of the greatest gifts I probably ever received in life, being recognized by your children as exactly, he saw exactly who I am. A young, vibrant, immature at times, person, but I'm his father.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he showed me love and respect.
He loves you.
Yeah, to stay strong, Dad, and stay young. He wants me to. He's appreciated. When he was a little younger, at 13 or 14, he would be embarrassed by some of my antics. But he'll be 18 soon, off to college, and now he's like, Dad, that's you.
Where's he going to college?
Oh, he's got a couple choices. So I don't know, Sonoma State, Cal State. So he was on sports medicine, and so that'll make 4. My 2 boys in college. My 2 boys and my girls, 2 girls are in college. Actually, her oldest is probably going to UC Davis to get her PhD in agricultural economics. So we have 4 kids in school. That's why I keep the Mercedes also, because we can't afford to upgrade it.
The truth comes out. Old sentimental thing. The father-in-law. Yeah.
Well, this,
And I'm flat broke.
and there's 4 kids in college. Yeah, well, it started out with, I've had the Mercedes longer than the kids have been in school. So it started out as a preservation project, and now it's just necessity.
That's preserving you.
That would save me $600 a month in a car payment plus insurance and stuff, because it's pretty cheap to keep that car, because like $30 a month to insure it, because it's not worth anything.
Yeah, they should extend Obamacare to cars, I think.
You know what? They should.
Yeah,
they should.
I bet you there's a lot of people who can't afford car insurance either.
I'm sure there are. And if they can't afford car insurance, it only covers if they wreck somebody else's car. Their car isn't covered. So they get into a wreck and they're walking. Yeah. And I'm driving and you're out. And your insurance goes up and you're paying all this money to protect yourself from me, whatever, or myself from you, however that goes. But I think it should be full coverage for those people who have cars, because they actually need a car.
Right.
And unless you're out there drunk on a Saturday night and you're just running over shit, I think if you're in rush hour traffic and you wreck your car, you should be covered.
Yeah.
And they should upgrade you another vehicle so that you can get to work. Yeah.
Right.
Really.
I'm there with you.
Yeah. Because there's enough. I've been to junkyards and you see this guy had 5 cars. You saw how many cars. Give up a car, bro. It's like one little skinny kid. He's got 6 cars. Like, come on. And they don't even run.
That was pretty foul. There's 2 Mercedes and a Jaguar across the street.
Exactly.
And it looked like an eviction notice on the door, but I didn't really like it.
They're in dirt road, pavement. It's gravel. It's like we walk across the street, you're in the country, which is fine. I love dirt roads. Your brother has a dirt road in his house, and there's a beautiful vineyard and house at the end of the street, the pool, waterfall.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like something's going on.
Something was up.
I've never been that deep before. No, really. I don't know what's going on back then. Since I had you and a camera, I figured, hey, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
And she was actually very personable, and I appreciate her kindness and openness.
Yes.
And honesty, and letting me know and the world know her son's not coming to knock on my door.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if anything's going to happen here, it's going to be from your inside.
Exactly, it's going to be from me. I'm going to have to initiate it with him. So at least she understands that he's that way, which makes me look at her differently. That's why I updated her, have a nice day, and thank you for allowing me to walk into your property without, hey, what are you doing?
I wonder if anyone will watch this whole thing.
I don't know. Well, I don't know how long we've taken here, but if you're ready to wrap it up.
I'm good.
You're good? All right, well, thank you. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
I appreciate the time and the energy for coming out, and hope you guys enjoy the discussion, and stay tuned for his next guest.
Do what the state does. Do what the neighbor does.
I thought so too.
Not me. It's a beautiful world. It's a beautiful world. It's a beautiful world. It's a beautiful